Oh, Liverpool lost. Oh, Tottenham too. Oh, Newcastle tied as well. Oh, damn, bro. What? Arsenal tied to Leverkusen, and they got a Mickey Mouse pen? Yo, what the hell? Man City got battered 3-0 by Madrid. Yo, I thought the Prem was the best league in the world, bro. What is all this? Alright. UCL game week. The round of 16 first leg has been played. I'm probably the last team that should be talking about the Prem because we're like one of the only teams that tied, that didn't win against the Prem team. We tied 1-1 to Newcastle. And realistically, they're like the second weakest Prem team that's currently in the round of 16. But what happened, man? I thought the Prem was the best league in the world. But now, all jokes aside, that was a great game week. There was a lot of upsets, a lot of things happened that nobody expected. I mean, Galatasaray beat Liverpool 1-0, and it should have been 2-0. I don't know why that last goal was considered offside. I believe it was Konate who made the pass. He hit the ball. Like Galatasaray got robbed. Bayern Munich absolutely battered Atalanta 6-1. 6-1. And hold up, who did Atalanta beat? They beat I'm tripping. They beat Dortmund 4-1. They came back against Dortmund in the playoff round, and they get battered 6-1 by Bayern in the first leg. Bayern is looking really dangerous. I mean, in my opinion, they're favorites to win the UCL. I like the way they play. They play good fluid football. Olise, some people are saying he's better than Yamal. I wouldn't agree, but you might say he's been more consistent than Yamal, especially in the big games, and to that I have no argument. Yamal in the big games this season has not been hitting like he did last season. But overall I still prefer Lamine, but I'm also a Barca fan, so there's always that bias that's gonna creep in. But yeah, Elise with a sensational performance, 2 goals and an assist. Nabry, a goal and assist, and I'm glad to see Nabry back, man. I know he's been back for a while, but I thought he was washed. I thought he was going to Galatasaray or something. No disrespect to Galatasaray. I know they beat Liverpool, but I thought he was going to Turkey or Saudi or something. But nah, bro, he got a resurgence, bro. He rejuvenated. So I'm happy to see that, man. I don't like seeing players fall off, so I'm happy for him. Luis Diaz got an assist, but Luis Diaz overall played really well. Luis Diaz has been a very good signing for Bayern. Some people might say Bayern overpaid, but yeah, Luis Diaz is a demon, man. Like I know he was linked to Barca, and all the Barca fans, including me, were saying, "Yo, Deco, why are you twerking for this guy, bro? He's 29. You want to pay 80 mil?" Which to that I agree. 80 mil or 70 mil or whatever is way too much. But Luis Diaz, like because of that price tag, I kind of started disrespecting Luis Diaz. I'm like, "Yo, this guy's a bum. Why are you paying 80 mil? This guy's not a bum. This guy's phenomenal." You see what happens to Liverpool now. They have Gakpo on the left. Gakpo has not been good this season. They're really missing Luis Diaz, man. I mean, they're missing a lot of things, to be fair, but Luis Diaz is a very underrated part of that Liverpool team, and now it's showing. Now he's thriving in Bayern, and he might get a UCL. So yeah, great. Great for Luis Diaz. Great for Luis Diaz. And then Jackson got in a goal and an assist. I know he's complaining about lack of playtime, and it's kind of crazy that even without Kane, they won 6-1. Look, he didn't even clock this. Did he even play? He didn't even touch the pitch, and they won 6-1. That's ridiculous. Yeah, Bayern are disgusting. Musiala got subbed on and he scored, and Alphonso Davies, he got subbed on. He got an assist, but he got injured, man. I really, I really hope it's not a serious injury. Uh, Alphonso Davies is a winger, or sorry, he's a left back who's been plagued with injuries, man. At his best, he was the best left back in the world. I think he would be better than Nuno Mendes if he was healthy. And it's really sad to see how much injuries can affect a person. I live in Canada. You know what I mean? I'm Canadian. I hope he's not out for the World Cup. I mean, he was amazing in the last World Cup. To be fair, for Canada, he scored the goal as well. I think it was against Belgium. And yeah, it's really sad to see how he keeps getting injured over and over again. my thoughts and prayers go to Alphonso Davies. I wish him a speedy recovery. And yeah, um, the next game, did I even talk about Liverpool Galatasaray? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really watch it like that. Um, but Liverpool did not play good. Like, it's not like a fluky 1-0 win. Like I said, it should have been 2-0. And Galatasaray, for the most part, um I say they have more of the ball. They created more like decent chances, I'd say. Uh Liverpool might have been a bit unlucky with some chances, but now they deserve to lose 100%. Liverpool, it's kind of crazy, like how much they've fallen off since last season, and I'm sure they'll be back in the second half or second leg. Though it's gonna be at Anfield, so it's not gonna be easy for Gala. That second goal really would have helped them, but yeah, Liverpool, man, they're looking very, very underwhelming. The next game I want to talk about is Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham. Relegation Tottenham versus third place in La Liga. The people were saying if Tottenham beat Atletico Madrid, then they're not gonna take La Liga seriously. Joke's on you, bro. You guys didn't even win a single game this week. But yeah, Atletico dominate them like 5-2. Very convincing performance, and Igor Tudor made the bold move of playing Kinski over their starting goalkeeper, Vicario, and it did not work out well, man. I honestly feel really bad for Kinski. This was his debut. I don't know if it was his UCL debut or his Tottenham debut, or if it was both. I'm not sure, but he had an absolute stinker, man. And honestly, I feel really bad for him. He got subbed off in the 17th minute, and that's not something you want to see. Like, yeah, it's funny for us on the outside, but I can't imagine how he's feeling, bro. There was one play where he tried passing it to the defender and he didn't pass it with enough power and it went straight to Alvarez, who scores. And then I forgot what the second goal was. I believe he slipped or something, and then Atleti scored. And to be fair, he wasn't the only person at fault. Van de Ven slipped, which led to the third goal. And 17 minutes into the game, 17 minutes into his debut, he gets subbed off after making two errors leading to a goal and being down 3-0 at that point. So this is gonna take a toll on him mentally, man. Like this, I it's gonna be crazy to recover. We've seen what happened with Karius. Karius, I don't even know if he plays anymore. I know he signed for Newcastle, but he was like their third choice keeper or something when he signed. So yeah, I hope he can build his confidence back up, because that's very it's very sad to see. That whole Tottenham defense was garbage. It's not just Kinski. The whole defense was out of it. Honestly, the whole team was out of it as well. Um, Tottenham, like, you go from winning the Europa League, getting that Champions League spot, and then you get funds, and you sign in the summer. You sign Mohamed Kudus. Who else did they sign? I'm low key. I'm blanking. They signed Conor Gallagher. I didn't even know they signed Conor Gallagher. They signed Xavi Simons, obviously, and they got Kolomwani, and they got Mateus Tell. Like, they spent big money, and they're even worse than they were last season. Tottenham is one team I'll never understand, man. I don't know how you have, like, you've cemented yourself as a top 6 team in the Prem. You know what I mean? Like, you're a big team in the Prem. I know people make jokes about them, but you're overall you're a big team, and you're out here doing this 2 seasons in a row. Like, one season you could call it a fluke. 2 seasons, I don't know. The way they're managed it confuses me, honestly. But yeah, Atletico scored pretty much all of their goals in the first half. They scored 4 goals in the first half, and then Alvarez scores a second in the second half, and the game ends 5-2. Very dominant from Atletico. They took their foot off the gas as well. It's a 3-goal deficit. Tottenham were able to get 2 back. I do not see them coming back, but you never know. The next game up is Newcastle versus Barcelona. Um, I'm gonna go more in depth with this game because I paid more attention because I'm a Barca fan. So that game did not go well at all. That game went horribly, honestly. Barcelona failed to control the game. Newcastle in that first 10 minutes were looking extremely deadly. Their momentum died off, but they were still looking the better team throughout the entire match. In that first 10 minutes, their press was incredible. Like, they man, I was nervous watching, bro. I felt the press on my couch. You know what I mean? Their press was incredible, and we know they're a physical team. We seen this coming, but Barca, I guess, handled it okay. Surprisingly, Barca's defense was the best aspect of our team today. Or not today. This was a few days ago. I'm uploading this very late, by the way, so that's my fault. But yeah, the defense was pretty solid today. Araujo for the most part was pretty solid, except for the goal, which I'll get into. Because that was in the second half. I'll get into that later. The defense was pretty solid. The midfield was non-existent. I'm not gonna lie. The midfield was just Pedri. Honestly, it was just Pedri. For me, he low-key was non-existent. And Bernal, as much as I love Bernal, he wasn't it today. He was pretty quiet today. He wasn't necessarily like garbage, but he didn't have an impact on the game. And Newcastle, like I say, possession was like 50-50, maybe 60-40 to Newcastle. Wait, was it? Nah, maybe I'm tripping. 60-40 to Newcastle seems kind of crazy. I think, if anything, it was 60-40 to us, but it was like 50-50. But Newcastle created the much more better chances. They exploited the high line a few times. Elanga made great runs in. And just Elanga doesn't have. He's kind of like Balde, bro. He can't do anything in the final third, apparently. But he's an actual winger, so you would expect more from him. But yeah, Elanga was making great runs, but he just did nothing with it. Newcastle were not clinical. They wasted a lot of chances. They missed a lot of big chances. Joan Garcia made a couple great saves as well, which saved us, as per. Like, is it really a Barca game if Joan Garcia isn't making a crazy save to save us? And Barca had a couple good chances. Rafinha and Lewa had some shots, and Lamine, he dribbled a few players. He had like 4 players on him at one point. And Araujo in the first half was pretty solid, honestly. He made a couple great tackles. He made an interception where he slid for the ball. So I like the effort. Araujo was pretty good. So yeah, overall, the first half was okay. Defense was holding it down. We had some attacking chances, but like I said, Newcastle had the way better chances. And, so far it's pretty 50-50. In the second half, you would expect some changes. You'd expect the momentum to flow with us. You know what I mean? You'd expect Barca to come out the half strong and, try and create something and try and get this win. But that's not what happened. Bernal made a very unnecessary tackle early in the first half, and it resulted in a free kick in a pretty dangerous position for Newcastle, but nothing came of it. And Newcastle were playing some great balls. I mean, if in the first half they're playing great chances, in the second half they were even better. They were even better. Their chances were even better in the second half. And honestly, like I'd never thought our defense is what saved us, but our defense saved us that game. Our defense was holding it down. Kubarsi was making great tackles. Gerard Martin was making great tackles too, but Gerard Martin, he just made some very sloppy clearances. But overall, they were both really good. Cancelo, um, honestly, Cancelo had some good dribbles. He had some good moments. There was a play where I believe he dribbled past a few guys, but his touch, like he was about to make a great run. You know what I mean? He beat his man and he took a horrible touch and just brought it right back to the man, and he lost possession. Cancelo, this wasn't one of his best games. He was pretty quiet for the most part. He didn't really do much. Nothing negative, but yet, like I said, nothing positive either. And Araujo, overall was solid until that goal. Um, when Newcastle scored, they played a cross in, and Araujo just sat there on the edge of the box. He didn't try and run in and mark the man, which if he did, honestly, I don't think they score. I don't know what Araujo is doing. Like he always has these bozo moments, at least it wasn't a red card, but he just sat there and watched. Bro, you're a defender. Go in the box and mark him. What's wrong with you? But other than that, Araujo was honestly really solid to like that game, and I don't know what got into him. I don't know why he thought he could just sit there and watch. Uh that kind of shocked me, but yeah, I don't even know. Now it's 1-0 to Newcastle. And from there, not even from there, just the majority of the second half, Barca failed to get in that final third. They failed to get some shots in. They failed to make some great chances. Rafinha, like I love Rafinha. Like I always say in the videos, his press is incredible. But when are we gonna start having these discussions, bro? Because I know when Yamal was coming back from injury, a lot of Barca fans were talking smack about Yamal, saying like, "Oh, he's washed," "Oh, well, he shouldn't go out partying, this and that," which there might be some truth to these statements, but he wasn't even playing bad. He was coming back from an injury, he was playing with pain. As soon as the pain went away, he started playing. He went back to normal. But even in the big games, I could give you that he should be doing better. But Rafinha, man, he failed to have any effect in the final third. Yeah, his press is amazing. His defensive contributions are great, but you're an attacker first and foremost. You know what I mean? His shots were horrible. He was rushing the shots. Um, he just failed to do anything in the past few games, especially in the UCL. I seen this stat going around that Courtois has two assists, like 2 GA, and Rafinha has 0. And honestly, it's kind of crazy that Courtois even has 2 assists, but look, I'm not a GA guy. I know Rafinha has been doing well in the press, like I said, but I need him to step up in the final third because we have Lewa and Farhan and striker who are useless. They're useless. I don't want to disrespect them, but they're useless. They're just there. Don't even get me started on Farhan's cameo today. Horrible. Um,
القول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأراضين ساموا رسول أهل العزائم القول قول الصوارم كي تسترد المظالم حتى الأراضين ساموا.
Lewa, I can't even name you anything he did. He had a couple shots. That's it. He did nothing. That's the thing with our strikers, bro. They do nothing. I think Farhan is better because his link up is better. But today that was nowhere to be seen. Farhan was horrid. And yeah, I think Barca's striker position, like, hot take or whatever, but it's worse than our defense, honestly. I rate Kubarsi. Maybe like look, I rate Kubarsi and Martin. I don't know if they're UCL winning center back duo. I think like how old is Gerard Martin? Martin is 24 and Kubarsi is still 19, right? I think Kubarsi needs a more experienced player next to him. And, hopefully that could guide him. I guess Martin is a little more experienced. He's 5 years older, but if we get Bastoni, like I hear the links to, which I don't see how the hell we're gonna get him, but if we do, that would be incredible. But honestly, I think our striker position is worse because at least Kubarsi and Martin, they're pretty solid. It's our defensive structure that kind of, I think it makes it seem worse than it actually is. I think the high line makes our defense seem worse than they actually are. But I understand they're not like, top 5 in Europe or whatever. But I think the high line amplifies it even more. But with our striker position, like honestly, the past few games, I've failed to see anything from anyone in the striker. I want to see Rashford put in striker or something. I want to see Hansi Flick, be creative with it, because Varane and Lewa aren't cutting it. I'm sorry, Lewa, I respect you. You're Unk now. You had your time. No disrespect to you, bro. Like you did your thing the past couple of years. Now you're old. It's how it goes, bro. Varane, though, on the other hand, Varane is a very hot and cold player. He always does well, then he always starts off horrible. He gets in form, he gets good, he gets pretty good, and then he gets injured and he resets all that progress. It's happened every single time. Every single time. Earlier this season, before his injury, he was pretty good. He gets injured, he comes back a completely different player. And yeah, I don't know. Rashford came on, Olmo came on, and Casado came on, Ferran came on, and Xavi Aspart, I don't know if I'm saying that right. He made his debut. He looked pretty solid. He only played for like a few minutes, but honestly, he looked really solid. He made a couple slide tackles in the box, and they were clean. Casado came on. No real impact on the game. Rashford came on. Rashford was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Ferran, like I said, he was horrible when he came on. Danny Olmo came on and just he saved Barca. It was 4 minutes at a time. It's like the 94th minute and 30 seconds, almost dribbling in the box, and he gets a penalty out of nothing. That was a miracle. Honestly, that was a miracle that we got a penalty. Because we deserved to lose. If we lost the game 1-0, I would have been like, yeah, that's fair. If we lost 2-0, yeah, that's fair. We played bad. The fact that we come out of here, out of St. James Park with the draw is incredible. And Danny Olmo, great like individual brilliance. I can't believe I'm saying that over getting a penalty, but he dribbled in the box and he got a penalty. And Lamine Yamal put it away. He covered up his stinker low key, but yeah, Lamine puts it away, and now it's 1-1. Barca get an undeserved tie, and honestly, this is out of all the Prem teams, this is the only Prem team that actually like played well, and they're very unlucky to not get that win. And that's all the games that happened on Tuesday. I already talked about the Leverkusen Arsenal game. That one was on Tuesday. I heard a lot of people talking about Sporting Bodo Glimt, saying Sporting will win. Bodo Glimt come out of there 3-0. What Bodo Glimt are doing are incredible, man. It's like 2018 or 2018-19 Ajax. Like I love an underdog story. I really do. I mean, the fact that they got all of their UCL wins this year. Um, yeah, they okay. At the end of 2025, they lost to Juve. They tied to Dortmund, and they needed to win their next two games against City and Atletico to get into the playoff round. And they beat City 3-1 at home, and they beat Atletico Madrid 2-1 away from home. Then in the playoff round, they get Inter Milan, who made the UCL final last season. They beat them 3-1 at home. Then they go to the San Siro and beat them 2-1. Now that is extremely embarrassing from Inter, but that's equally as impressive for Bodo Glimt, a small team in Norway. And then I heard a lot of people saying that, oh, Sporting will win the game. They'll win the tie. They'll win like a 5-4, 3-2, something like that. Bodo Glimt beat them at home 3-0. And, Sporting could come back. I personally don't see it. But yeah, I'm really happy to see this, man. Like I said, I love an underdog story. I think we all do. And it's like a breath of fresh air to see this, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that made me happy to see. That made me happy. The next game was PSG versus Chelsea, which was a rerun of the Club World Cup final, where Chelsea won 3-0, but that was under Enzo Maresca. Now they have Liam Rossinier. I don't know if I said that right. I apologize if I butchered it. I probably did. And this game was pretty back and forth until Kvaratskhelia got subbed on. But yeah, Barcola scored pretty early on. Then Enzo scored the equalizer, pointing at the Club World Cup badge. Pretty shameless, but... Oh, sorry, no, Gusto scored first. I'm tripping. Sorry. Gusto scored. Then Dembele scored. Then now Enzo scores and points at the badge. But then from there, PSG dominate. Um, Vitinha scores a great goal. It was a great chip. Who made the mistake? Was it Jorgensen? I believe it was their keeper, Jorgensen, which, by the way, Robert Sanchez has been one of their best players this season, and they just dropped him in their biggest game of the season for Jorgensen, and he dropped an absolute stinker. Chelsea's defense this game was horrendous, by the way. Fofana and Chalobah, don't even get me started, bro. Those guys were horrible. Like, bro, you could just walk right past them. They were horrible. And Cucurella also, like, people aren't talking about him. He was horrible as well. But you won't hear that though. You only hear it when he does good. But I mean, okay, you know what? Let me be fair. No one really talks about Cucurella, but I hear a lot of shouts saying, "Oh, it's not crazy to say he's the best left back in the world." Nah, man, sit down. Honestly, sit down. And to be fair, Nuno Mensch didn't have a great game today either, but he was definitely better than Cucurella. And yeah, where was I? Yeah, so Jorgensen, I don't know if he was trying to clear the ball, pass the ball. I forgot what he did, but it ended up to the feet of Vitinha, who plays a beautiful chip and it goes to the back of the net. It was a beautiful goal. Now it's 3-2, and um I believe Kvara assisted that. So already off the bench he gets an assist. Excuse me, sorry. Then he scores two more goals, and one of them was a beautiful, beautiful finish. I mean, it was right on the edge of the box, and he just curls it in the top right corner. It was beautiful. Kavara, he's seen Barcola cook. He's like, nah, man, that's my position, and he came and scored. Kavara is someone who I think is very underrated. He's incredible. I really did want him at Barca. I can't believe Barca didn't even try and get him in the winter transfer window. I guess it was because of financial restrictions. I remember his agent saying that he wanted to move to Barca or Madrid. I don't know how true that is though. I could be falling for you know, misinformation. But I remember in that winter January window, I heard that his agent said that. And I know he is a Madrid fan, but I heard he would have taken either one. And you know, PSG came calling, they signed him, and they won the UCL. So yeah, you know, I think he's happy with the decision. And yeah, PSG dominate Chelsea 3-2. I don't think Chelsea will come back. I think it's game over. And then the last game of the match, the last game of the week is Real Madrid versus Man City. An injury-ridden Real Madrid side, 10 injuries that include hold on, let me check. That includes Carreras, Alaba, Militao. Those two are always injured. They don't really count. Ceballos, not really a first team player, but that's, you know, he's a good rotation player. But Bellingham, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Carreras, those are the big injuries. And Militao. Like, bro, City had every advantage. And they lost 3-0. And Fede Valverde, of all players, scored a hat trick. That Man City defense was horrid. That defense was horrid. And also, I have no idea why the hell Cherokee didn't play. Cherokee's been one of their best players this season. He was great in their last few games as well. And he didn't sub him on until the 70th minute. Pep, I love you, bro. Like, you're the GOAT, but you got it wrong today. You got it wrong. That defense was horrible. That high line, like, I thought Barca's defense was bad. That high line was 10 times worse than ours. And, you know, Holland was actually nowhere to be seen. I think Doku was the only one who was pretty decent. Donnarumma saved the penalty at the end from Vinny. But Donnarumma, for that first goal, I think he should have got the ball from Fede. I mean, the ball went right under here when he dove, and it looked like he pulled his arm out. So I think Donnarumma makes a big mistake, first of all, coming out of the net, and second of all, failing to even touch the ball. And Fede just goes right under him and it goes into the net. And then Fede scores another 2 goals. Honestly, I forgot what the second one was, but the third one was a nice volley. And yeah, that 3-0. 3-0. Everyone wrote Real Madrid out, including me. I thought Man City were gonna. I thought at worst it'll be 1-1. You know, at worst for City. So now they have to fight a 3-goal deficit at the Etihad. I don't think it's gonna happen. This City team isn't the same as it used to be. You know, they're not as inevitable. They don't have that inevitability inevitability gene that they used to have. So yeah, I think that's the tie over. And yeah, the Prem teams, it's time to lock in, bro. You guys say you're the best league in the world. It's time to show it, man. Like, and I know the Premier League is actually the best league. Like, you know, financially, the way these teams can spend, the way it's run, it's the best. But I don't want to say none of that matters, but if you can't show it in the European nights, you know what I mean? Like, can't take you too serious, you know what I mean? You can't go around flexing all this if you can't even win in the UCL. If not one team can win in the UCL. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for the game against Sevilla. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on the games in the comments below and on the video. And yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace out.